Hey, what's up? David here with After VideoFX, and welcome back to the channel. And in this tutorial, we're going to be looking at part 2 for the Foggy Forest composite. We're going to be using After Effects and some like particle elements, and I use some of Video Copilot's Action Essentials 2-pack just to add some atmosphere and stuff like that. But before we get into the tutorial, I just want to remind you of what we're going to be creating. So let's take a look. Okay, so let's get into it. So I've got our render here, so I'm just going to drop it into a new comp, and I'm just going to label this, I don't know, I'll just label tutorial. And so here is our rendered layer here. It's looking really nice. And I've got the Z depth here, so I'm just going to drop that on top as well. So what we're going to do first is just shut this off. And just be sure to have your comp to 32 bits per channel. And what I'm going to do is, well, initially I used the film nitrate effect. So if I show you, I initially used this effect, but because this is an external plugin, I'm just going to do something differently. So we're going to use the hue and saturation effect. And what we're going to do is just saturate it a bit to bring that up, and go into greens channel and desaturate some of the green out. Just bring that lightness down as well. Okay, and we'll add a curves adjustment. Go into the green channel and just take a little bit of that green out, just a touch. Okay, so it's looking not too bad. And then we're going to use our Z depth. So let's just rename this. We'll call this render, and we'll call this Z depth. Okay. So here is our Z depth right here. What we're going to do is add a fast box blur. Maybe set this about 90. Repeat H pixels. And then what we're going to do is add a curves adjustment. Just bring that back up, and we're going to set the transfer mode to add. Okay, so you can see here what we're trying to achieve. We've got this like really depth fog here, and just to bring the intensity down, we're just going to bring the opacity to like 25%. Okay, like that. Okay, so once that's done, we can go ahead and start adding maybe some of our particles that we're going to use. So I think what I've used is, let me have a look here. So I think I used 1, 3, 8, 10, 14. So we'll bring those into our scene here. And we'll just scale them up. Make sure it just fit into our comp here. And we can randomize it later, but just for now we just need a reference. And we could just adjust these one by one. So let's have a look at this one. So we got this nice particles happening here. So what we're going to do first is probably just add in a curves adjustment, and we're just going to just adjust the contrast for this. Like that. So I might just bring this down a little bit more, like that. Okay, and we're going to add the tint effect. We'll just make it like a little bit more, you know, orange and stuff like that. And we'll make it like, I don't know, 70%. Okay, and we'll add another curves adjustment. So that, just bring the lightness back up. So we're just boosting the contrast for the layer, and we'll just add a fast box blur, and we'll just maybe like blur it out a few pixels. Okay. And then what we can do is set the transfer mode to screen. Okay, so we've got these nice particles flying in. So I'm just going to do these quickly for the rest of the layers. So I'll just be one moment. Okay, just to show you what I did. So let's just look at these one by one. So for the first one, which is particles 3, this is what I did for the layer. So I added a curves adjustment. Maybe I'll just switch these off one by one so you can see each of them individually. So this is the layer. So I've contrasted it, added a tint, boosted the RGB for the contrast, and then just gave it a fast box blur and set that to add. For the next one, quite similar. Added a curves adjustment with this like contrast, added a tint effect, a bit more on the red side, boosted the contrast, and then I added an exposure effect instead. So just to show you what that does, it just gives that a little bit of a pop. Okay, so that's what I did for number 8. Number 10, same thing again, and this time I just did a little bit of a blur instead. Okay. Number 14, which is the one that we did together. I did make a little bit of adjustment. So this is the contrast. The tint is a bit more on the orange side, still a bit red though. Boosted it again, and I just played with the fast box blur. Okay, and the last one, which is number 1, same thing again. This time I added the fast box blur before the RGB boost, because I wanted the blur to have that same pop as well. Okay, and I think now is just to randomize the timing for these. So let me show you what we can do with that. Oh, before we go into that, actually, the number 1 and 14, the blending mode is screen. 10, 8, 3 is add. Okay. Okay, so what we can do is maybe like, I don't know, maybe we could speed this one up. So we go time stretch, go like, I don't know, let's go 75. Yeah, let's go 75. And we can just slide that across. With this one, we could slow it down maybe. We can go like 120. And then just slide that across. And for number 14, we just slide that overall. And then we could slide this one a little bit. So we're just trying to randomize the time so that these layers are not synchronized. Okay, so once we've done that, we can go ahead and add in a Wisp effect. So I'm just going to go Wisp. I'm going to use number 9 because that's the only one we have. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to set the layer to about 15. And we're just going to scale it up. Okay, so we're just going to make it like rise on top here. I might just slide across here. And we're just going to add in maybe like a tint effect. Maybe just pick like this orange color. Maybe make it a bit brighter. Okay, and what we're going to do is just add in the exposure. Maybe boost it up to like 1.1, just to give it that nice effect here. And we'll maybe just make this like a bit brighter. Make it like 75%. And we'll maybe make the opacity like, I think 20% is fine. It was okay. Cool. Let's go ahead and just add in our atmosphere. So I think I used number 6 and 7. So I'm just going to drag it in here. Cool. So let's just take a look at this. Okay, so for number 7, what I'm going to do is flip it. So I'm just going to make this negative 100. Okay, and then we're just going to move this across here. Let's have a look. Whoa, okay, that is not looking okay. Just flip that as well. We'll make it negative 100 on this axis. Okay, and then we can add the tint effect and just make it like a orange color, something like that. Okay, maybe drop the opacity like 50%. Okay, and we'll copy the tint effect and add it here as well. Okay, slide it across as well, and we'll adjust the tint opacity, sorry, for this. So like that. Okay, cool. Let's move on now just to add in our like color correction. So we've got 3 adjustment layers. So first we're going to label this as CC. This one Vignette. And this one as depth of field. Okay. So let's focus on the depth of field. What I want to do is get the camera lens blur. We'll make it 6, and we'll just create an ellipse mask tool, subtract it, and maybe like, I don't know, 150 pixels. Okay, and we just want this depth of field just to be more in the center. Okay, like that. Okay, and what we're going to do is copy this mask to our vignette. Okay, so if we have a look at this, and then we can hit F, maybe make this 250 instead, and we'll add the curves adjustment. Okay, and one last final thing is our color correction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add curves, tints, glow, and sharp mask. Okay, so let's work on these one at a time. So I'm just going to maybe do a bit of color correction for this. That maybe add a touch of red, take away some blue, and adjust the green channel as well. Okay, and in the tint, we'll make it about 30%, maybe like 15. Okay, now glow, what we're going to do is set this to like 0.3, set to A and B colors, and we're going to get a nice hot orange and maybe a bit light orange. Okay, and spread that out, maybe about 200. Set this to 0.2, and we can adjust the threshold. Okay, we can duplicate it. Set this to about like 400, and set this to like 0.1. Okay. And maybe we could just set the threshold a bit higher. Okay, and we'll add in our unsharp mask. So maybe about 2 as the radius here. Okay, so that's looking not too bad. We'll do one final detail, which is our lens texture. and we'll just scale it up. I'll leave a link where you could download this lens texture. And what we're going to do is, whoops, I'm going to add a mask tool, like just around maybe this area here. Feather that out, and we'll hit screen for that. Okay. We'll adjust the opacity, so maybe like 30%. Okay, and what I want to do is hit Alt, hit stopwatch, hit wiggle. I haven't used this expression for a while. We'll do it like 520. Okay, so it will just adjust. The opacity will change over time. 5 times per second, 20 as the intensity. Okay, let's just do a quick preview for this. Okay, let's check it out. Yeah, it's not looking too bad. I think my atmosphere is a little intense here, so I might drop this one to like maybe like 30%, and this to like maybe 20. Let's go with 25. Okay. Okay. Let's have a look here. I think I might adjust my vignette here with the glow. I might just adjust this a bit. Bring that glow in a bit. And the Z depth, I might just bring that up a bit. Okay, and once we put that all together, we should get something like this. And maybe I'll set this to add. Okay, let's check it out. Yeah, it's not looking too bad. I think there will be some final adjustments that I would probably do to this, but it's nothing too major. I think that wisp or atmosphere is going a little fast, so I might slow it down a bit. Maybe in my own time, but that's the only adjustment I would probably see at the moment. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Yeah, there's a lot of simple techniques just superimposed onto each other. Anyway, guys, my name's David. I hope you learned interesting techniques that you can use for your own creations. Please give a like if you like this video so people can find it. Subscribe if you want to see more, and be sure to hit that bell button to get the notifications. And comment out below if you have any questions. And I will see you in the next video.